Welcome to Google Reading.
Welcome, my name is Bjorn Berendt, and this is the Google Weekly Podcast, which is part of the AskBG.net network of EdTech services. Never stop learning.
This is Episode 9, Multiple User Sync in Chrome, recorded December 28th, 2011. Well, hello everybody. I hope everybody had a great holiday. I know I did, with two little girls. I was not actually planning on recording an episode this week, mostly because I am home with my family and all my recording equipment is at school. However, I got this nice new USB microphone, so I'm looking forward to seeing how well it sounds, and I couldn't wait to try it. I'm actually sitting here. It is 5:30 in the morning. My wife has gone to work, and my girls have not woken up yet, so I'm hoping I can get this recorded in time before I get a bunch of distractions. So what I wanted to talk about during this show is a feature that came out earlier in the week, actually previous to my last show. However, it was a feature that I missed, so I wanted to talk about it because I think it's a pretty substantial one. And that is multi-user sync for Google Chrome. Now, the what current feature is probably what I should start off with, and that is Google Chrome has the ability to sync all your browser settings between every single computer you use. So for me, I have my home, I have my Chromebook, I have my work computer, and it's really nice to actually have all the passwords that I saved, all the bookmarks that I make, all the websites that I've been to, even the extensions that I've installed or the apps that I have installed. And it's nice that I can go through, and every single computer that I sit at with Google Chrome, I open it up and I have all of them are the same. It's the same user experience. And the way you get that is by clicking the little tiny wrench at the top, and then you can see mine says signed in as, but I believe it can say sync with an account. Once you sync it with an account, you can go in and you can choose what data you want to actually sync. Looking for the settings right now. I thought I had this up, but apparently I don't. Okay, signed in as, and I'm going to click on advanced. So the things you can sync the apps, you can sync the autofill, so any form data, bookmarks, extensions, your search history, your passwords, preferences, and themes. You can encrypt the passwords. You can encrypt all the data. Encryption passphrase. It has some nice settings, and it keeps it nice and secure. It's a feature that I've been using for a while. I really do like it, and I do encourage it, especially it's that same user experience across all the different platforms. Well, that's the what's current in Google. What's new is that they have now allowed for multiple users in Chrome Sync. So if I go to, one of the things I can do is I can add a user to Chrome. So if I go in and I click the wrench and I go to options, I believe it's under personal stuff, you'll see that you either signed in as or can sync it with, and then you have add users. So I'm going to click add user. And once I do that, it pops up with a little window that allows me to, with the little icon up in the top left of the browser, it kind of lets you know what user you're in. And you can, at that point, just log in to a Gmail account that is synced, and syncing up multiple users at one time. I can delete the second user if I wish, but that really adds nice features, as in now both my wife and I can be logged in and we can both have our different accounts and have them synced. I can do this between my home and work account, whereas I can go in and have different bookmarks, and depending on what I'm working on, whether it's personal or whether it's at work, I can then choose which profile I want to use. I can have different themes, different extensions, and they all work together quite nicely, and they all sync up, and it'll be the same user experience at each of the locations. Now, I did want to highlight that there is a difference. There's another feature in Google Apps that is, let's see, what do they call it? Switch accounts. You can have multiple accounts signed into the same Google. This is different. The feature I'm talking about that synchronizes all the Google bookmarks and everything is a feature of Google Chrome. The multiple user login, which I do use a lot because it allows me to stay logged in between my multiple accounts, my home, my work accounts, is a different feature. So if you're in your Gmail, you click the address on the top right, and you click switch account, and then you sign into another account. What that does is it allows you to stay logged in to multiple accounts. So on my email, if I want to look at my normal email, I can. If I want to look at my work email, I switch accounts and I switch to my work email. Same goes with documents. I can switch between my home and work, and pretty much any of the core suite allows you to do those switching, which is a great feature. I use it a lot. I recommend it. But now they've added the ability to also have different profiles in Google Chrome itself. So that's your bookmarks and your autofill data and your themes and your all the app. So I'm going to move on because, like I said, I don't know when I'm going to get interrupted with my family on this show. And let's move on to the app exploration section. So I went on to the app market and I found this website called Gooru. The Gooru looks like more of a repository for lessons. It has, I think I saw one review. It was a positive one, but I'm assuming it's going to be someone like myself where, the original person probably reviews it, because I don't see much more about this. It is a free app, and if this really touts what it's talking about, like I said, I don't normally install these. I just go by the quick little review and description that it has. But this is talking about having lesson plans created based on the Common Core standards. It is talking about inquiry-based learning, activity-based learning. It has talked about annotated digital textbooks. It's talking about administrative capabilities. So this is definitely an app that I'm going to try out on my school and see how well it works. If it's as good as it touts, it's going to be a great resource for lessons and other activities for teachers. Now, moving on, how about to the Chrome Webstore app? And I found a word search. I thought this was kind of a cool little word search. It's been reviewed 168 times. All of them 5-star or 4.79 star app that many people really loved. This is some little tiny, basically a lot of word search games. I'm going to open this up and see new game, print. Okay, it doesn't look like I can create my own word search game, but it has a lot of just search games itself, so it'd be a time saver. And the website for that one is www.wordsearch1.com. So if you wanted to get it outside the web store, you can do that also. So this is, like I said, going to be a short episode. I thank everybody for listening. So thank you for listening to the Google Weekly Podcast with your host, Bjorn Barrett. You can follow the podcast and contribute by going to www.google-weekly.net. On the website, you will find that I have my new mobile app out there. I'm glad to see that that is growing very quickly. I've been playing with it, and so you'll see some changes in there as it grows. Also, you can follow the show via email. You can follow the show via Twitter. All you have to do is search for #GW Podcast in Twitter, and you should find the shows. You can subscribe via, if you're on an Apple product, or if you're just an iTunes fanatic, you can subscribe via iTunes. I also have the Google Plus page you can access the show on. I think this is going to be the longest part of the show, is just saying how you can access the show. If you want to contribute to the show, I do have a Google group, or you can use the GW podcast hashtag. I also believe you can probably post messages directly to the Google Plus. It's one of the ones I am going to be playing with. Or as always, you can comment down below on the post itself. I guess I probably should consolidate some of these eventually, but I'd like to see where the show is about letting people communicate and socialize the way that they feel most comfortable. So I like having multiple methods, and we'll see which one kind of becomes the prominent one over the course of the show being created. Yeah, there's a lot of little time lapses in that one. I'm sorry about that. So again, thank you very much for listening, and never stop learning.
This is Torrance, and thank you for listening.